So today we're going to be talking a little bit about the Project B League and whether or not Caitlin Clark should take the money to go and play in that league, because we know that if the rumored payment for Neko Wumake is $3 million or is $2 million, we know Caitlin Clark's getting more than that. Like, we can be honest here. Caitlin Clark is going to be paid more than Neko Wumake. Like, she just is. She is going to be one of the highest paid players. Not one of the highest. She is going to be paid the highest. And this is a non-salary cap league. She is going to be the highest paid player, and she is going to make double what the next highest paid player is making. That is, like, you can say what you want about it, but that's a fact. She's going to make minimum of double. Like, she is going to make, realistically, let's just say if someone else is making 5 million, she's making a minimum of 10 million. The rumored amount of money that is going to be pumped into this is in the billions of dollars. And that is an investment that these companies are, as far as we're aware, are willing to lose. Like, they're willing to lose. Like, it's a risk that you're taking. And this is something that they believe, basically, billions and billions of dollars are going to be lost in AI. And that's pretty much what this is. This is the, like, not the AI, but this is them looking for the new bubble. They think that that the new bubble is women's sports. This is a bunch of tech bros. Obviously, there is some involvement with Saudi Arabia's PIF, but it's not in. This looks more of a tech bros situation than a sports washing situation. It looks like it's one of those things where, that they're just looking for an investment. They're looking to profit off this. How much money is Caitlin Clark going to make is obviously nobody knows, but it's going to be silly. Like, Caitlin Clark is going to make more money than any female like, 1 year of Caitlin Clark playing in this league, she would, in all likelihood, make more money than any female basketball player has made for their career in one league. Like, if you're asking me which female basketball player has made the most money through basketball related activities, depending on what Renee Montgomery's stake is, true basketball playing related activities. I'm not going to say like somebody invested in something basketball after the fact. Any of that stuff. I'm not going to consider that. Caitlin Clark might be number one. Like, she might have already made more money out of being an active player from basketball related stuff. Because, like, I would assume Sabrina's made a lot on her shoes. But from like actually, you know what? No. I would consider Sabrina's shoes basketball related. It's probably between Caitlin Clark and Sabrina all time who's made the most money. And she can go into this league and probably double what she's making in a year. Do I think she should play in it financially? Look, I think you'd be crazy. Like, I think you'd be crazy not to take whatever money is available, even if it isn't what we're anticipating. I think you would be nuts to not take. Like, let's be real. Caitlin Clark will be offered 8 figures. I don't think that's a crazy statement to make, but Caitlin Clark will be offered 8 figures a year to play in any of these leagues. Should she take 8 figures to play? If she wants to, yeah. But everyone being like, oh, she doesn't care about the money. Everyone cares. If Caitlin Clark didn't care about the money, why would she be doing the same talk over and over again to business people in her offseason instead of just chilling? Obviously, she's a basketball player, but everybody cares to an extent about money. And I think this is, like, if you get higher quality players in, this is probably the best scenario for reps. You got to travel the world. You got to build your worldwide fan base. You got to go to all these cities. You get to you get to travel with players. You got to play on your team. And this system, it seems like it's over 4 months. They've said there's 14 weeks of playing. You're basically playing 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off for 4 months, which is, like, which is ideal. Like 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off for 4 months is the most ideal off-season thing ever. Which means you can work, you can rest, you can travel, you can do all of your speaking engagements, you can play golf. You can do all of that, and then you can go and play and make tens of millions of dollars. Like, it is obviously an absolute no-brainer. Like, look, for anyone, this is a no-brainer. And for all the people in the comment section being like, oh, I would never take that money. Yeah, you would. Why would, for me, I'm like, unless she just doesn't want to play in the offseason. Like, that's the only logic is if Caitlin Clark just does not want to play basketball in the offseason. But at the same time, like, look, as much as people think that this is the WNBA and women's sports at this constantly growing thing and it's going to grow year on year, it's not. Like, I'm going to be honest here. The relevancy of the WNBA today is not in the stratosphere of where it was 12 months ago. You are not hearing people talk about the WNBA in day-to-day life anymore. The WNBA 2024 season came at the most perfect time. The NBA was in its lowest position ever. You had Caitlin Clark coming through, and she was as good as advertised. The draft was shit. So no one cared about Summer League. It was one of the most dead free agency and trade periods of all time. That free agency is not really a thing anymore in the NBA, purely because of all these extensions and the second apron and everything. Wemby hadn't turned into Wemby yet, which is an issue, by the way. Wemby being Wemby is kind of a big deal. It's kind of a big deal that, Wemby's Wemby. And then you come into the 2025 season where the WNBA season started on fire because you had Caitlin Clark coming back from another year, and all the fans of Caitlin Clark last year a lot of them came back. And then we saw throughout the year that a random regular season game for the Indiana Fever, who had bigger, like a random non-Caitlin Clark regular season game, every single nationally televised Caitlin Clark game that wasn't on fucking NBA TV. A Caitlin Clark game on Ion pulled in more viewers than the WNBA finals. That didn't happen. Like in the WNBA finals, which everyone's like, oh, look at our finals. It was the most, like they had nearly twice the amount of viewers in game one. You have the addition. You had the addition of the way they changed the ratings. So you can add like 400,000 viewers based on the new ratings. Like the finals realistically averaged under 1 million viewers based on the old ratings. Man, Caitlin Clark was pulling in more than that on Ion. And that's what people don't realize. Like, the WNBA is in a much worse position now. So if Caitlin Clark, if people are like, oh, she wants to build this big brand, oh, she only cares about the WNBA. One, the WNBA don't care about her. And there is stuff that I have found, there's something that I found out in the last week, and this isn't going to be one of these like absolute exposed things. Even though, you know what, like there are people that know a lot of information, and like the fact that people are trickling it out. But all I'm going to say is this, and I've heard this through the grapevine. I could be right, I could be not right with this, but I've heard through the grapevine that a lot of companies trying to work with the WNBA have pulled out of working with the WNBA because the WNBA have basically said they've wanted to like do certain things with certain games and certain like things, and the WNBA have said, no, we're not going to give you clearance to do this type of promotion, to do this work, if it involves using the Indiana Fever. The WNBA have actively, like, it's from what I've heard. I could be so wrong with this, and you don't have to believe me here, because at the end of the day, I don't have first-hand information with this. But as far as from what I've heard, the WNBA have have put a stop to certain promotion if it involves Caitlin Clark. That they will only allow certain companies promote do work with them if it's with another team. And like I think Caitlin Clark, the WNBA are going to do whatever the hell they can to stop Caitlin Clark. Like, it is the weirdest thing ever. I don't get it. I don't understand what's going on. And look, at the end of the day, we're watching this in real time, some weird stuff here. And I think if Caitlin Clark does want to grow her brand, she's got to continue to play in the W, obviously. It's not one of those things where it's one or the other. But I don't know how much longer Caitlin Clark will, like, her relevancy has dropped. Her brand is not what it was a year ago, even though she's still huge. She's still by far the biggest female basketball player. But it's like Steph Curry post 2016. Steph was never the same after 2016 again in terms of his relevancy. But Steph Curry stayed on elite level. He's stayed pretty famous, pretty big. The problem is Caitlin's young. It's only been a year. She came on, had an injured season. The league is trending downwards. The league might go into lockout. So it makes sense. And unrivaled 3v3 gimmick ball is probably not the answer either. But it does make sense she plays another off-season league, because the WNBA is a tough league to bet on, put all your chips on, because you don't know what's going to happen. It mightn't exist in a few years. And the league doesn't really want... The WNBA doesn't want her. The other leagues do. I'm confident they don't. But anyway, yeah, that's the thing. See you guys.